What's going on, guys? Andrew of Newbark Gaming back here, and today we're going to be discussing the fact that Konami has announced that there is going to be a Borreload XYZ monster printed, aka Verilode if we're talking about the original OCG names for monsters. And what does that mean? Well, it's a monster in Revolver's archetype, so I'd say it's fair to assume he's going to be XYZ summoning within the show pretty soon. So let's go ahead and talk about the card just a little bit first, and then we'll get into theories and what this may imply for the anime. So it's going to be called Borreload X Charge Dragon, rank 4 Dark Dragon XYZ effect monster. It's going to require 2 level 4 Dark Dragon type monsters as its overlay materials, and its first effect is going to be this XYZ summon card cannot be targeted by the effects of other monsters, and then for its second effect, once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster on the field. For the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters, and your monsters cannot attack directly. Also, the targeted monster loses 600 attack and / defense, then you can special summon 1 Borrel monster from your graveyard, but it is banished during the end phase. So these are actually some pretty cool effects. I mean, it's not the most powerful thing in the world effect-wise, but you gotta figure you're pitching 2 level 4 monsters to special summon a 3000 attack beat stick that can revive one of your Borreload monsters, which given Revolver's deck kind of centers around those, that gives him a fair amount of flexibility. Now in the case of something such as Borreload Savage Dragon, it's not necessarily all that great to revive that, given how its primary effect requires it to be synchro summoned first, but in the case of something like Borrel Sword Dragon or the original Borreload Dragon, it definitely still gives some options there, even if they are only on the field for 1 turn, and it does prevent direct attacks. Now that being said, pretty good card on the whole, pretty cool to see that Revolver is likely going to XYZ summon. Now let's get into a little bit of what this may mean for the anime, and spoiler alert guys, and other than just the card here, I will be discussing a little bit of what comes up in the episode summaries that we've been given so far for the next, say, 4 episodes or so. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so jumping right into the spoilers here, we know Revolver's going to end up dueling Lightning, right? Well, this would kind of be the perfect time for him to unleash a new summoning method. If he does end up unleashing the new summoning method against Lightning, one pattern we have to keep in mind is so far amongst who are basically our 3 main duelists within the show, being Yusaku, Soulburner, and Revolver being our main protagonist, our best friend character, and our rival archetype, who usually comprise the main cast of any Yu-Gi-Oh show in terms of dueling and whatnot. None of them have actually lost a duel in which they've used a new summoning method. So if Revolver really ends up XYZ summoning within his duel against Lightning, that kind of spells out to me that it would make a lot of sense for him to end up winning that duel. Now granted, there are a couple of sort of exceptions to this. Aoi does end up losing to Soulburner in the same duel where she first fusion summons, and we also have Blood Shepherd fusion summoning against Lightning, but once more, they're not amongst our primary 3 cast members. Duels such as Playmaker when he first used like Cyverse Clock Dragon, or Revolver when he first used Borreload Savage Dragon, or Soulburner when he first XYZ summons against Windy, all those were victories. We do have one that does fall a little bit obscure in that, we have Playmaker when he did first summon his Cyverse Quantum Dragon, ends up actually coming to a draw against Bowman. But that being said, it is still a draw, not a loss. So this may imply that Revolver's got better odds than I was initially potentially anticipating against Lightning. Once more, that's a duel I'm very excited for because we essentially have our second best duelist from each respective side of this conflict going up against one another, which spells out for something with a very up in the air result, which I often find to be the most exciting of the duels. Now, also the other thing to kind of bear in mind here is kind of one of the going on themes of this second season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains has been each of these duelists having their deck evolve and having them learn these new summoning methods and unleash them. Once more, kind of the evolution of their dueling skills as they progress. Now sometimes it's more evident than others. Playmaker's deck, I'd say, was probably the most stagnant of them despite the new summoning methods, versus then we also have characters like Aoi where she has a totally new archetype, same deal goes for Go, and then we have characters like Soulburner where we're just learning his archetype. All that being considered, if Revolver's going in tandem with that, and he's staying with the Season 2 trend of his deck continuing to evolve, it would make sense that this XYZ monster is going to come up within Season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. Up to this point, the next duel we know he's going to have is against Lightning, which means it would make a lot of sense for him to either have to XYZ summon this card against Lightning, at which rate, if he's following the trends, he'll probably either win or draw the duel against Lightning, or he has to beat Lightning in order to XYZ summon this card at a later date. Now with all that being said, that is a lot of speculation, and it is following certain patterns that could just be coincidence, but that's going to about wrap up my thoughts on this card, guys. I think it's going to be really awesome to see Revolver use another summoning method, helps keep the show fresh in my eyes. So be sure to let me know all your thoughts, comments, theories, etc. in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. If not, constructive criticism is always welcome, and I'll catch you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains discussion.